site over here at the right side of the map. He's spreading a lot of creep, but doesn't matter because there's no foliage on this side of the map of dual site to be infected by that. It is MVP's DongRaeGu. And over here at the left side of the map is our Protoss Hope. He's from the team Evil Geniuses. He is Huck.
He is a little bit of an evil genius himself.
He really is. And he's deciding to go again with a little bit more conservative build. Very smart on the map dual side, actually. It's another map with a very wide open natural. It's difficult to make a proper wall off.
Yeah, it's difficult to do. It's kind of like Metalopolis and how you have to do it. You can't really make a choke point wall off. You have to make a wall near your minerals. It's just really difficult to do and makes you vulnerable to a lot of different types of aggression. Huck making his gateway a little bit late again, so you get that extra mining off of his probes. And the earlier you make your gateway, you have to stop a probe for a second to make the gateway. So let's make it a little bit later so he doesn't lose any probe production, lose any mining.
Did he send out a scouting probe?
No.
That's really interesting.
No scouting whatsoever from Huck.
Huck usually is very aggressive with his scouting. I wonder if he has something specific planned here.
Well,
he wasn't able to stop DongRaeGu's hatchery from going down. Usually the probe will be able to stop that.
Yeah. Well, what he's doing here is obviously he really wants to get as much economy on one base very quickly as he can. And that's why he's not scouting. He wants to be able to get that extra minerals from that one probe. So it's clear that he's got something very specific in mind here. He hasn't taken the second gas. I'm actually starting to think it's possibly a good 4-gate, but as I say that, he does take his second gas.
Well, you're right. This does feel like a very specific build, something that he's got something specific planned for. Just to point out real quick, this is kind of interesting that DongRaeGu picked this map. This is actually the map that he played against Yonghua, another Protoss player, in the Team League last night. So maybe he feels very comfortable in his ZVP on this map.
And the second gas is being used now. He's actually saved a lot of chrono boost. And I think, you know, we may see some sort of early timing attack from Huck. Let's see if he's going to chrono his Cybernetics core again immediately. He does immediately re-chrono his Cybernetics core. Something is up here. Yeah, there's the Twilight Council.
Ooh. Interesting.
Now, I don't think we're going to see DTs. He didn't take his second gas quickly enough for this to be a quick DT expand type of build.
You think he's going to make maybe a couple more gateways and go for Blink Stop?
Yeah, I think he is going to go for Blink. Now, with the new patch was intended to eliminate builds like this, and for that reason, it might be the last thing DongRaeGu expects. See, now, if you look at Huck's gas, this Twilight finishes, he doesn't have enough. Ooh, nice save on that Overlord, bringing it over those trees. He doesn't have enough gas to make the Dark Shrine just yet. We're going to find out what the answer is, and he's not getting Blink, so it looks like it is going to be a Dark Shrine. Nexus going down, so he's doing a DT expand here.
Yeah,
a little bit of a weird timing.
He actually ends up with exactly the minerals and gas to make a Nexus and a Dark Shrine at about the same time, so this definitely does look like a planned build. He's going for Dark Templar Rush. Now, this might be very good. It also might be bad, because here's the thing. Whoa, actually, hold that thought. DongRaeGu is making a ton of Zerglings right now, so that's going to mean this expansion is going to be really hard to hold.
He's making a ton of Zerglings because I think he foresees aggression from Huck. He foresees maybe a 4-gate. He has no idea what's going on, really. He actually hasn't seen anything in Huck's base. He saw a Stalker, though, so he's like, it's one of two things. It's either tech or it's a 4-gate. And he actually checked for a Nexus at the wrong time. He didn't see it. And even seeing these pylons, as you can see with the Zergling, you're going to really hint at that as well. This is actually going to be really bad for Huck, though, because even if you do a DT expand, the DTs don't do enough DPS to stop Zerglings from canceling your Nexus, and that's exactly what we're going to see here. And he's actually going to have to cancel this Nexus.
Yeah, he's just going to have to cancel.
He's running out of time on that cancel, too. He's going to have to make a choice pretty soon.
Is he going to try and hold this?
I hope not.
He needs to cancel that.
Doesn't cancel the Nexus, man. And the Zerglings are going to attack that Stalker and Sentry very soon because that Force is running out. He's actually warping another Sentry. He has the gas to warp in DTs now, but wasn't doing it immediately. He's actually warping in a DT to attack DongRaeGu's base, but a Spore Crawler is finishing as we speak. He's got a ton of Zerglings there as well to stop this DT. Things are looking bad for Huck as he does lose that Nexus.
I have no idea why he didn't cancel the Nexus. There was no way to save it. Here comes that Dark Templar coming in, but as you said, the Spore is finished at the front.
He's going to try to sneak in around these Zerglings. He may be able to do it if he's very careful with it. And
oh
no,
he
cannot get past. And DongRaeGu has essentially won this game. Huck actually going up to 5 gateways, was going up to 6, but cancels a gate. And instead makes a Nexus again. But it's going to be so hard for him to hold off any type of aggression DongRaeGu throws at him. He is just now getting his lair, so he can't do a timing attack and end the game because he doesn't have any detection that's mobile with him.
Yeah.
But he's so far ahead, he's making a macro hatchery right now. And I think what's actually going to happen is DongRaeGu has enough drones now to where he can really power up and make whatever he wants. And I think he's just going to make Zerglings and an Overseer and keep attacking Huck as he takes the third base.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard for him to take a third base until he gets that
Overseer.
That Overseer up. So I think that's part of why this is what's going on. Huck, yeah, trying to move out desperately. He's just going to say, all right, well, if I have one Dark Templar, you can't attack me, so I'm just going to take my expansion again. But really a shame that he didn't cancel that. Maybe he thought he needed that amount of time to buy time to get another Sentry out or another Zealot out or something. I don't know.
He actually did need it, but he actually, instead of using the Sentries and Force Fields, he actually could have just held position to DT at the choke point of his ramp. But he wanted to hide the DTs, so that's why he didn't do that. So Huck's decision-making there was a little bit iffy, but I understand his thought process there. Now he's got Stalkers out in the middle of the map, and his Blink's about to finish. He's actually going to catch an Overlord here. But with this many Speedlings out, I kind of question Huck's choice to move out with these Stalkers, but the DT does spot the Zerglings. He's going to try to get his Stalkers back in time. He has Sentries prepared to Force Field as well, but he's probably going to lose some probes here. And good Force Fields. And look at that, catching the Zerglings as well here. He's going to be able to blink away. Yep. That was a close call, though, on several accounts. He's going to lose a Stalker or two, but that's okay.
Lose a few Stalkers.
Nice blink there. Catching the last Zerglings as well. Really good trades for Huck.
It's interesting how the Zerglings, like, if an Overlord dies, this is like a random tangent, I'm sorry, but if an Overlord dies, it, like, explodes, and there's this giant splorch sound. Oh, nice! Catches the third drone before it can go over and create there. That is why he can't get his third until he does have full detection. But, like, if an Overlord dies, it, like, splorches. If a Queen dies, it splorches and goes everywhere. If a Zergling dies, it goes... Like, there's this tiny little popping sound, and that's it.
Shows you how insignificant Zerglings are, man.
Yes.
Well, Huck has actually sent a Zealot to join up with the DT that denied that base, but there is an Overseer and way more Zerglings than those two can handle, so his Stalkers, he's going to have to use those. It looks like he does have enough Stalkers. Hold this, he's going to kill the Overseer.
Oh,
this is
nice.
Another reason why Huck got Blink. Is a pretty common follow-up to the DT expansion to get Blink to kill Overseer so you can continue to poke with these units, but this is not a good poke by Huck. He actually needs to get the hell out of there, man.
Yeah, he was hoping that there wouldn't be too many spines there, or something. He could just snipe the Spore Crawler so the DT can do some damage. But these Zerglings catching the Stalkers off guard. He's gonna lose
really bad for Huck.
He's gonna be able to blink again soon.
Yeah, but he has to do it at the exact right moment, and that was the moment there. So losing a few Stalkers, DongRaeGu remaining ahead, but he lost his Overseer, and there's still a Dark Templar denying the third base for Huck.
Infestors are out as well, and did he get the pathogen glands?
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
he did at the right timing to it. Perfect timing. So all the Infestors he made, which is in fact 5 right now, he's got 2 more on the way. He doesn't have a total of 7 Infestors with energy. Roach Speed is on the way, +2. Melee weapons is done. And actually, we may see DongRaeGu just end the game with these Infestors right now. I hope he doesn't try to do Infested Terrans, because that's not going to work very well. There are cannons going up. But if he fungles all of the units of Huck repeatedly, he should be able to break this quite easily. But, yeah, with how much energy he has, the Infested Terrans could potentially work.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing that can do AoE damage. There's no Colossus or anything like that. And there's a cannon there. He's able to see the Infestors. He picks off most of the Infestors. They do get their Terrans down, but they all die except for 2. And it's going to be very difficult for Huck to hold this. So many Zerglings streaming in. The Barbarians are at the gates, and the gates are made of force fields that will run out, but he does kill enough in time.
That was actually a huge victory for Huck. That was the best thing, best he could have hoped for. Infestors walking into his photon cannons.
Yeah.
No scouting whatsoever from DongRaeGu. He just decided to blindly attack there, and he's paying for it. Huck actually now has a larger army than DongRaeGu, and he's knocking at his doorstep, and DongRaeGu doesn't have really any energy left on those Infestors because he used the majority of it. But what he does have is Spine Crawlers and a decent amount of Roaches that will have Roach Speed. He's got +1 weapons on the way for those roaches as well. So Huck actually decides to turn back, knowing that DongRaeGu doesn't have a third base at the top. But what Huck hasn't scouted yet is that DongRaeGu took a third base at the other location instead.
Yeah,
I think Huck thinks he's on a 2-base versus 2-base here, but that's changing very quickly.
Yeah, the third base at the right is going to be the crucial thing here. And now, this time, going in, he does do some fungals, I believe. Fungals were off, he's able to blink back.
I'd like to see him just turn around.
I couldn't tell on my monitor. Did he fungal or not?
He did fungal, but he didn't catch very many of the units. I'd like to see DongRaeGu just turn back. There's no reason to try to attack into a Stalkers and Photon Cans with a better concave here. It's okay to trade like he's doing now against the units that warp in. Well, there's no reason for him to commit to an attack. He's got a third base going up. He knows the Huck doesn't have a third.
Yeah, that's the thing is Huck can't really take a third right now.
And DongRaeGu is just going to slowly get a large advantage here. Huck really has taken what looks like a auto loss with everything that he did, how it failed, how he lost his Nexus. He's actually been able to fight back quite nicely here. But that fight worked as he wanted to. He's going to engage. He hopefully just trades and doesn't decide to commit here. But he's got so many roaches, it's like he just can't help it, man. He's going in. And the Infested Terran's doing a lot of extra damage.
No force fields this time. The force fields are what saved him from these roaches before, but he didn't have those sentries anymore. He lost them in the middle of the map. And there's just so many roaches. He's desperately trying to warp in more Stalkers at both locations. Is it going to be enough, though? The Blink Micro may be enough to hold this off.
Yeah, good fungals, and Infested Terran's doing a lot of extra damage, but DongRaeGu does get pushed back. But even so, he's traded so nicely here. He's about 50 supply up. He's making more Infested. He's got a Spire on the way. A bajillion Zerglings running across the map. Actually, a bajillion. Not 46, but about a bajillion.
Exactly 1 bajillion. Precisely amount. And he's just going to try and break Huck, it looks like. He's like, all right, well, I actually have a better economy, and I killed most of your army.
He's just going to keep trading. And baits a force field out. He's going to do it again, most likely. Huck just desperately trying to hold. He knows if he loses this, he's got no chance, and DongRaeGu will just advance. So he's just trying to do what he can.
Waits for that force field to wear off. One force field goes down, he casts another one. And a third to make that choke smaller, but the pylon goes down, and he actually does force it back, though, just with a pure concave advantage.
Yeah, Huck needs to make something happen here. He needs to hide a gold base or something. He needs to try to sneak probes out, but DongRaeGu is just doing such a good job of scouting. But he does get a probe out, actually, just as I say this, he's sending a probe, but the Zergling finds it. And in fact, he is not going to be able to secretly take a gold base.
The Zergling found it, but he actually then ran his probe back from the got away. Here comes another attack. Tons of Infested Terrans being planted down. And this just seems to be what he's going to do. He's going to try and wear Huck down slowly and steadily.
Trading energy for units, and
it may finally work this time.
It looks like it's going to work eventually here.
Too many Infested Terrans.
Yeah, the Infested Terrans are doing so well, and the Stalkers blink back, but top 3 control just isn't going to be enough here when your opponent has twice the units of you. GG!
Huck goes down, and DongRaeGu is going to the semifinals of the Arena of Legends. There is our results for today. DongRaeGu taking out MVP in style. MVP Cheesy Huck. And then lastly, DongRaeGu barely taking out Huck in game number 3. And like you said, Huck took a situation that looked unwinnable and almost came back. And I'm not sure what he could have done differently in the mid-game there when he actually had map control. I don't even know how he lost it other than the fact that, you know, he just got caught in a gap. Did he just get caught in a bad position in the middle and lost too much? Or?
Yeah, he lost a lot of Stalkers in the middle of the map.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
He kept trying to blink back, but he knew that if he blinked all of his Stalkers back at once, they would just get surrounded again. So he had to actually just throw away like 3 Stalkers to get the majority of his Stalkers out. Now anyway, tomorrow we're going to see Startail July, Slayer's Boxer, and Complexity's Naniwa, all 3 battle it out there in Group D. So make sure you tune in to that. It's going to be the same time as it was today, 5 p.m. Korean Standard Time, which is an hour and 10 minutes earlier than usual. Tell your friends to buy the premium service. Check out these VODs. Watch Huck lose to supply drops. If you don't know about the supply drop, your friends don't know about the supply drop, all and be like, well, I know this educational match that you can watch to find out exactly how it's executed. You can win some games on the ladder with that all in, man.
Yeah, and that actually, that was actually a really textbook way to do that situation, MVP. Probably has a ladder account where he just does that supply drop all in every time, something like that. Anyway, no, the semifinals are going to be next weekend. We already know pretty much who's going to be in the semifinals, except for this last player from tomorrow's group. MMA and Marine King are going to be in the first match. DongRaeGu is going to face the winner of the group of Naniwa, Boxer, and Jelizerg. So DongRaeGu is going to be playing one of those three players in the other semifinal, and then of course the winners of the semifinals will be in the finals next Sunday.
So we're going to have a Terran in the finals no matter what. And anyways, again, just tell your friends to check out GOMTV. Go to GOMTV.net. Go to mt.gomtv.net on your mobile phone. Check out GOMTV on Twitter at just simply GOMTV. You can follow Moletrap at Moletrap. You can follow me at FXOWolf. Follow us, tweet at us, hashtag GSL. You can hashtag AOL if you'd like. So just do all of those things. If you really want to support GOMTV and support esports, do all of these things. It's the way to do it.
That's right. All right, so we hope you guys enjoyed our matches today. I certainly enjoyed casting them.
I did
here
too, man.
with you, Wolf, and I'm looking forward to casting some more awesome matches tomorrow. And that's going to do it for today. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Tune in tomorrow for the Arena of Legends, the last group, and we will see you next time. Take care.